Biomimicry. This is a term defined as the emulation of the models, systems, and elements of nature for the purpose of solving complex human problems. It's no secret that humans have been looking to nature for guidance in developing their own technology for centuries. During the Renaissance, Leonardo da Vinci used birds as inspiration for his failed flying machine, and 400 years later, the Wright brothers examined pigeons in their quest for flight. Even now, our most highly advanced vessels are still modeled after what nature has produced. But why is this the case? Why do humans mimic their technology after nature's example? Through 3.8 billion years of trial and error, evolution has produced some of the most efficient and functional natural properties in animals, fauna, and microorganisms. Over the years, nature has solved many of humans' engineering problems, including self-healing abilities, environment's exposure tolerance, hydrophobicity, and even harnessing solar energy. In fact, most solar energy production is inspired by studying the conversion of sunlight to energy through photosynthesizing organisms. In April 2011, a team of researchers from varying universities used a genetically engineered virus called M13 to improve photon-to-current conversion efficiency. The virus was engineered to express chains of amino acids, which were used as biological templates for electron collection. Single-walled carbon nanotubes, or SWNTs, were bound along the engineered viruses and dispersed to efficiently produce energy. The economic impact of bio-inspired technology is on the order of hundreds of billions of dollars per year worldwide. Not only are new materials and surfaces the products of this technology, but computation too. Neuromorphic engineering is an approach to computing that is inspired by the structure and function of the human brain. Such computers are electrical devices that copy biological neurons by using physical artificial neurons. This is achieved by replicating the analog nature of biological computation and the role of neurons in cognition. But this is a daunting problem, and something that is very difficult to simulate artificially because of its sheer complexity. For one, all processing in biological neurons is done with analog chemical signals. So how do we replicate this if we're using digital computers? Let's talk about hardware. We will need to use unconventional electronics to achieve such a task. Chances are, the device you are using to watch this video is built on the von Neumann architecture of computers, where the CPU and memory are separated from each other and communicate information back and forth. Within their domain, each respective unit works incredibly fast, but we reach a bottleneck when they start communicating with each other. This is a slow process by comparison. This works fine for traditional computers, but this is not how our brain works. Thinking and making memories aren't done in different parts of the brain. Both computation and memory work simultaneously. With only 12 watts of power, your brain runs continuously and never stops processing information, even when sleeping. Your laptop, on the other hand, consumes about 60 watts when it's powered on. That number increases to 175 if you're using a desktop computer. Electric circuits have 4 properties. First, we have charge. This is what electrons carry through a circuit. When we measure the rate of this moving charge, we call it a current. And the energy in the circuit in regards to its charge, we can measure with voltage. But the last property is something quite unique. When electrons move through a wire, they move quickly, almost at the speed of light. When we reach these speeds, an interesting phenomena of physics begins to happen. Due to the principle of relativity, the electrons begin to contract in length in the direction they are moving. This causes objects at rest to perceive the amount of electrons in the wire as much more than there actually are. This disbalance in charge causes nearby protons to be attracted to these moving electrons. A magnetic field is formed. This is how electric magnets work. They are simply coiled wires with currents running through them to emulate a dipole magnet that can be stronger or weaker depending on how much electricity it's using.
Yeah, bitch! Magnets! Oh!
A moving magnetic field through a surface is called magnetic flux, and this is the final property of an electric circuit. A resistor correlates voltage with current, a capacitor correlates voltage with charge, and an inductor correlates magnetic flux with current. So what is the missing piece to this puzzle? What correlates magnetic flux with charge? Memristors. The synapses in our brain that connect neurons together have the ability to remember various states, which allows our brains to function the way they do. The combination of memory and a resistor, or a memristor, works in a similar way. In this case, it remembers the most recent resistance value when an applied voltage was turned off, until the next time when an applied voltage is turned on. There are two ways it does this. The first way is using an impure dielectric material in the component, like titanium dioxide. This is also known as doping. When a voltage is applied across the component, an electric field is formed, and some of those impurities move from one side to the other. This changes the resistance and allows the memristor to remember its state. The second way is using the spin of electrons, also known as spintronic memristors. In this case, the spin of electrons changes the magnetization state of the memristor, which changes its resistance. By creating logic gates with artificial neurons like memristors, we can build whole logic circuits that resemble brain processing. Even though the original component was first introduced in 1971, the ideal memristor has yet to be invented. The abilities of the human brain are yet to be fully understood. This organ is responsible for keeping early hunter-gatherers alive in the wild, and is the same unchanged organ that helped Stephen Hawking develop his theories of black holes. It is what set apart humans from other animals, what allowed Homo sapiens to survive extinction while others vanished, and what continues to help us develop new technology. In the end, the hardest challenge has been to recreate itself, in which its own complexity leads to its mystery.